home of the Trojans and located in beautiful central Oahu. This year, 2023, marks our school's 50th anniversary. To commemorate this monumental year, we are holding numerous events to recognize the extensive and decorated history of our school. One such event will be 50 interviews from 50 different people who have shaped the school into what it is today. These interviews are encapsulated through 50 different videos that will be released weekly between January 2023 to January of 2024. Please join us in this momentous occasion with the people that have witnessed our home's history firsthand. We here at Mililani hope you enjoy learning about our school as much as we cherish retelling it. This is Mililani High School's 50th anniversary. Today's interview is with Brigadier General Brad Sakai and his wife/high school sweetheart, Momi Sakai. They are a part of Mililani's first graduating class of 1977. Join us as they tell us what it was like in those first opening years.
One of the beauty of being part of this brand new school was we got to choose the brown and gold. We got to choose the mascot, the Trojan. And we got to choose, the song, Alma Mater. And we voted on it back then. So it's a big voting thing. And so all the football players with the colors, if my memory is correct on this, was we either was just given two choices at the time.
I know what they are.
Black and maroon, I think it was. Was it?
Silver and black.
Oh, okay, I was close. Yeah, and then
Raiders color, silver and black.
And then it was brown and gold. And the majority of the football players says, well,
it was Trojans or Lions.
Yeah, they thought it'd be too hot to be wearing the black and silver. So we went over, that was our main thought process, at least for me. So we chose brown and gold.
And I know Coach Kalinana felt that brown and gold was similar to the maroon and gold of USC. What's funny is still to this day, no one is black and silver and black. There's nobody still with those colors, even though there's schools that have come after.
Wow,
us.
yeah.
So it's still out there.
So all the Mililani alumni can blame us, our class.
We could have been the silver and black Lions.
Yeah.
Mililani Lions, but we already have a Lions club.
Yes. And another beauty of I don't know what they do today, but so your brother primarily, he was all about tradition. So when we would drive back home on the bus from football games, once the bus hit the corner of entering our school, we would start singing the alma mater. So those traditions like that, I'm not sure they do that anymore or not, but we were all about first time traditions. And then when they would lay out new sidewalks, we'd all be over there putting our names in the sidewalks.
It's still there.
It's still there. I just remember my mom, when my dad retired from the military, we were on Hickam at the time. She says, Brad, do you want to try out for Kamehameha High School? Or do you want to be a part of a brand new high school? And I don't know if she was trying to sell the high school, but the way she said it, I'm like, I want to be part of the brand new high school. It's history in the making right there, So I was really excited about that. So that's how it came for me. It's like, take that route. But that was
high school sweethearts, by the way.
So that's the best thing ever happened in high school is, it's a good thing I didn't go Kamehameha High School. I would never found Momi.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're right. So in 1973, when we came on campus, it was about maybe 300 students, with just ninth graders. And that's the beauty of this school, in the memories I have, because you're just tight with everybody. Any of the teachers became really good friends to this day, by the way. We still hang out with some of their friends from high school. And each year, as we elevated to another class, to 10th grade, to 11th grade, new students will come in to fill the 9th grade slot each year until we hit senior years. And my sister, she's an 80 grad, she filled in that 9th grade spot. So we were really good friends, not only within the senior class, but also the junior class, and for the most part, the sophomore class, because for me, we played football. That's the three classes that we're really tight with. I didn't know that much of the freshmen. I do now, but back then it was really those three classes that were really tight.
Yeah, when we started doing reunions, it was like It should be the 3 classes. So our first reunions were the 3 classes, right?
Yeah, we threw a 22nd year reunion, and I was working on Hickam at the time in the military, and we got the officers club there. So that was a really big event, and we had like 200-300 people show at that one, and he shows up a lot of times at the small reunions that we have at with David Millwood's place up in Tamnas area.
Aloha Water.
Aloha Water.
Danny Gabriel.
Sorry. But he was telling me, he goes, Brad, I know it was only for 10th, 11th, 12th grade. Because no, we had to come to that party too and just show up and crash it. I'm like, but thank God you did, because like nowadays it's all 4 classes, and I think more people are showing up at these get-togethers at Tamnas. So it's a good thing.
Do you guys remember those times where the Manapua trucks would show up and you would be eating the fried noodles?
In between class breaks, or even in the morning, I think everybody would go up to the tunnels. I'm just watching this and the Manapua truck, and it was all brand new to me. So I'm like, wow, this is great. 50 cents, get all those noodles and stuff like that. So we had all that. We had a lot of fun in the tunnels. I learned how to play some dice game. Sometimes I didn't eat lunch. Sometimes I did. But
lunch was only 25 cents back then.
Well, I know, and
You always had double lunch.
doubles.
50
I used to
cents.
fight off your brother because he always kept eating my food at lunchtime. But yeah, we had all that stuff up there, and it was great. And also back then, by the way, we had an interesting schedule. I guess it was similar to Lelahua's, but we would get off school at 12:30. Next thing I know is we're on the bus going to the Waimea Bay, body surfing, all kind of stuff back in the day. So it was good times. But yep, we had all that stuff. Manapua trucks back then. It was a lot of fun.
People nowadays can't imagine how right across our whole school where the town center is and 16 acres all the way up to Malta was pineapple fields when we were students.
Because that was actually, as silly as it may sound, it was one of my best memories. Because when we lived in Okinawa, when my dad was in the Air Force, we actually lived off base for a short period of time. We lived on a farm. So going back to what you're saying, yeah, when we moved first day in Mililani High School for the first year or so, it was just red dirt everywhere. And then in the lawn was just these clumps of grass, rows of grass with manure in there. And then we would grab our lunches out of the classroom and find someplace, another classroom to eat. And we're eating pineapple bugs and the whole works. And it was just miserable, but we're all miserable together. It was a lot of fun. And it stunk. And I totally forgot about the ashes for the sugar cane. You're right. And then we just look across the school. There's just pineapple fields out there. Yeah.
Any teachers, coaches really made an impact in your life here?
Yeah. All the teachers had an impact in one way or another. But the 3 teachers that come to mind all the time that I would primarily invite to some of my promotions when I was in the military was Coach Tomimoto, Coach Diaz, and Mr. Sawada, the math teacher. Because I remember the first football season, and I was so out of shape, even as a skinny guy, that I had to go to excuse myself to the bathroom so I could just lay down for a second. And in comes Tomimoto, mean-looking guy, intimidating. I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. And the compassion Tomimoto showed me that day stuck to me for the rest of my life. He was just like, you okay? Just lay down for a while until you feel good and come out again and practice. I mean, this is where it scared me, a lot of these guys, but that showed me that compassion. And Coach Diaz, when he came from Wailua to Mililani High School, here's another intimidating guy, but like we were talking earlier, talk about a guy with so much aloha, man. He just loved the sport and loved the students, and he taught me how to shake people's hand. He just crushed my hand, bear hug, and everything he did was 100+%. He was just all in. And these 2 guys, Tomimoto and Coach Diaz, they became lifetime friends of mine in Momi's. And to this day, we invite Coach Diaz's wife over at the house periodically, have poo-poos with her and talk to her about Coach Diaz. And Mr. Sawada, I'm just so happy that he had patience with me because I was such a troublemaker back then. But he would always pull me aside and just say, "What were you thinking?" And he just helped me through this time. Like, like I told you earlier, 9th grade, he'd be in the photography. He taking pictures of all these groups of clubs. He just jumped in these pictures, and we were in every club picture. And then 2 days later, I get this call from Coach, Mr. Sawad. He's like, shaking his head. He's like, "What were you thinking?" I'm like, "Oh." And then they took all our pictures out with exception of one. He kept me in the chess club. I don't know if that was an oversight or he did it on purpose. Who knows? But I guess about a week or 2 weeks later, he called me again. He goes, "Hey, Brad, look at this picture of yourself." I go, "Wow, is that how I look like?" He goes, "Yep." And I had this Prince Valiant helmet hair. So that night I went home and I got that Flowbee, or what do you call those things? I just cut my hair off. I'm like, "Wow, thanks, Mr. Sawada." He was always there. He's like, "What are you thinking about?" You know? And plus, he was a great math teacher.
I think all the teachers had an impact. The class was so small that they each, they could know you on a personal level. They knew your potential. They could talk to you about, your grades and your paper, or so as the closeness was there. I mean, not one teacher was more impactful than the other, but being that we were so young and they were young too, I think we were talking, they might have been like 10 years older than us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, they're wanting to do their best, and the best part was that they could get to know each of you on an individual level. So that closeness was there with the teachers too. So that was a good thing.
But I remember how close the teachers were back then. I remember them playing jokes on each other and getting us students involved, and just the interaction.
Yeah.
I guess it was easier because it was such a small school.
Yeah, right.
But we've grown so much. Even me as a faculty member now, I don't even know. There's many teachers I don't even know who they are when I see them.
Wow.
Compared to back then, and during our time. I'm 5 years after you guys, and those Coach Tomimoto and Coach Diaz are just huge parts of my life.
Yeah.
Why do you think you chose for a family to stay here in Mililani?
That's what it is, and it's family here. I feel totally comfortable. Right now, I've been part of Mililani pushing 50 years right now. And Momi, you've been here like 52 years possibly too. We moved here in 72, 73, and Momi was like 70 or so. So this place is, they've done a good job.
If there's anything you could change from when you were in high school, would there be anything that you would have changed?
So on one hand, I would say I wouldn't change anything, because the friendships you develop with the students here, the teachers, they're the ones that just kind of shaped you for the future. But then on the flip side of it, Hawaiian word for being naughty, kolohe. Man, I was just a troublemaker. I was a punk brat, so I feel bad for anybody that I unintentionally hurt, or the teachers. I was a pain in their okole, like the vice principals all the time. And the first vice principal, Mrs. Zane, gosh, she's just going nuts with me.
He can't help himself. He's still that way today, but I wouldn't change anything. I mean, everything's a learning experience, good or bad, personal or not. It's like they're good things that, like you were saying, sort of developed us as our character.
Yeah. What at Mililani High School kind of helped us in our careers and the future? The learning really came into play with football. You started playing football, the team, the friendship you developed, and then weightlifting that helped you build that confidence, for your future, aspirations in college and in the workforce. That was huge. It all was from Mililani High School. It was just the coaches, the teachers, your friends. It was right there. It was just building that relationship with everybody. By the way, this girl here helped me a lot through everything. I could have done nothing in my life, even high school. She wrote my English papers. That friendship, that bonding, playing football, the team effort, the discipline, the accountability, all that you had, the reliability that everybody had on each other, it played a role when I got into the military. Because I had that same feeling in the military where I was a pilot. I flew fighter jets for 32 years, and I retired as the Brigadier General, and I was a commander for the 154th Wing for about 5 years before I retired.
So on Hickam.
On Hickam, yeah, and actually, sometimes the school will come out there for tours. I mean, it all stems back when you're a brand new kid, you're just learning about life, and it started from Mililani High School. It actually did, because it was football and the sports, the track and field. It was a discipline that the coaches instilled on us constantly, over and over, and that friendship carried over into the military. Because I remember in high school, you could fight and fight and fight with your friends. The next day, we'd be calling each other, "Hey, what are you doing today?" It was like that. Same thing in the military, because we literally fought in the fighter jets, because we always wanted to be better than the other person. But we debriefed it. We're arguing and debriefs, but right after debriefs, we go to the bar, have a drink, and we're friends again. So it was a nice camaraderie. It was just a good friendship back then, and it made 32 years in the military go like a blink of an eye. So Mililani High School helped me a lot, and I don't mean this by this is really important what I'm going to say right now. I promise, if I had a Bible here, I'll put my hand on the Bible and say, I could not have done this without Momi. She got me through everything, through high school, through college, and then I went up to, I figured, we were together for about 8 years. We got married, and we just had a first daughter, Dawn. I go traveling up to Oklahoma. You know how people say they had rock fever in Hawaii? I had the opposite. When I go to Oklahoma, I land there, I'm like, I can't see any mountains. I couldn't see any water. I was like, God, all this land. And after the first 2 weeks, they talk about the fire hose opening up, where they just throw all these books up this high, and you got to read it all, retain it all. And the fact of being homesick, with my wife and my baby, I called her up and I said, I can't do this without you up here. You got to get up here. So with a month later, Momi came up, and Dawn came up with baby, and she got me through school.
If you would like to attend our 50th anniversary gala, or if you want more information about our 50th anniversary, please visit the websites linked in the description below. To keep up with our weekly interviews, please subscribe and/or check out our 50th anniversary playlist.